Welcome to Field to Fork. I'm Abby J, and it's September, and as you can see here, it's apple season. And apples are tremendous in Asheville, Hendersonville. That's where Ingles, they will be getting most of their apples. Although Washington State is number one, and for Georgia, we're the peach state. But if you're wanting to take a road trip, you might want to get in your car and go to J. It's also tailgating season, and I've got a little appetizer I wanted to show you to share with your friends. It's so easy to put together, and you know, apples are so good for you. I even have the water here, infused water with apple. It's a lot of antioxidants. It's really good for you, and it lasts about 2 days in the refrigerator. So let's get started on this really neat appetizer. What I've done is I've got the grands, the bigger cinnamon rolls, not the little can, but the big can. That's what you'll need. And I've cut this in two. And what we want to do is just put some apple puree. You can find the apple, the can, the Laura Lynn can, in your pie section, pie filling section. You want to just twist this. But first, let's spray the pan so it won't stick. What we're going to do is finish this, and we'll be right back to show you how these look. We're back. We just got my apple twist out of the oven. We baked them at 375 for 20 minutes, and the last thing we do is we roll them into some cinnamon sugar, like so. And we can even put them on this little tray here. And what I've done here is I've got some caramel, and I've got some the icing. The cinnamon roll icing is right here. So you have different choices of how you want to dip these. But again, they make a really nice tailgating appetizer, sweet. It's like apple pie in your mouth. So I hope you enjoy these. Also, it takes, just so you know, if you get apple cider, there's 36 apples that make a gallon of apple cider. So these apples are great. They're healthy for you, and that's what's in season. And I'm going to bring on my next guest to tell you all about farming and how he got started.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Welcome back to Field to Fork. And last week I went to my Georgia Farm Bureau meeting. It was a commodities meeting, and one of the things that I took from that meeting was to share your passion for agriculture. And I had the pleasure to meet Adam Stone with Go Grow Georgia. Welcome to the show, Adam.
You.
And tell us about this great program that you've developed.
Yes, ma'am. So Go Grow Georgia is an agricultural initiative. I started it in my sophomore year of high school, which was early 2021, and I focus on fighting food insecurity in communities with low socioeconomic status and promoting agriculturalism and self-sufficient gardening practices. In this, I normally go to booths and events, especially community events like Truck or Treats, Founders Day for different towns and stuff like that. And I also have now founded a community garden. I've helped with 2 others, and we have more to come.
And you're only 19 years old. He's a student at University of Georgia. And how did this happen at a very early age, I might say?
Yes, ma'am. So I was a very, very involved FFA student, and FFA has something called an SAE, or a Supervised Agricultural Experience. And with that, there's a few different divisions, and I identified service learning as a division that I was interested in. And in that, you have to go and identify a problem within your community and then fix that problem. And so being in late 2020, early 2021, the COVID-19 pandemic broke out.
Right.
And I identified food insecurity as an issue in my community. And I wanted to have a foundational fix rather than just a temporary solution. So I decided to take action and establish a community garden.
Well, you have, and what I've seen is amazing.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
really is amazing. It was the best thing that I took from that meeting was finding you and your passion for agriculture. We need thousands of people like you out here. We really do, because you are starting a new trend here, I think, for the younger generation, and teaching them where our food comes from.
Yes, ma'am. No, really giving an immersive agricultural experience to people young and old within communities that aren't typically immersed in agriculture, and given hands-on opportunities to where I can go and do a very simple teaching clinic where we can do, potted cups or seedling cups with recycled material or biodegradable cups, for people to really get a starting pad for agriculture in their home. Whether or not they, live in an apartment or already live on a farm, it's a great opportunity to learn something new and really try something out.
This started near Rome, Georgia, right? Bowden?
Bowden, so it's Carrollton, Georgia.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So, with that, multi-generational gaps are bridged. I know I can go do seedlings and harvest with the young kids. I can go and harvest and then have a planting clinic, at the senior center or at the rec department, at some community center where it's just a hub for people to really come together and embrace agriculture and learn something new.
Do you teach them how to save seeds?
Yes, ma'am. So
I love that.
The community gardens really serves a teaching and a growing space. So I'm an agricultural education major at the University of Georgia, and that gives me an opportunity to kind of bridge the gap of what I'm learning in class and really implement that in the real world.
I think the community has embraced you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They have, and they've supported this program.
Yes, ma'am. They've backed me tremendously, and I couldn't have asked for a better community to start in.
How do they support you? How would you tell the audience to support this, to get more people involved?
Reach out to your city council and start a community garden yourself. That's the biggest thing I can say. Go to your city council, go to business leaders, go to businesses within your community. Go to your city council, ask for something. All it takes is somebody to get up and get the courage to ask. And people are willing to give as long as you have a plan in place and you go and ask.
I think with our location up here in the mountains, there's a lot of retirement areas where people would just be enthralled by all this.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so for instance, I put my community garden right in between the rec department and the senior center. So the seniors within the community, it's a cooperative community garden, so it's free for everybody. You can show up, you can do as you wish, with some basic guidelines, like only pick what you need.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, once the garden's in place and I'm kind of the general keeper of the garden right now, until I go off to college, and then the community really steps in and helps me out there just to keep everything up, keep maintenance up.
So you have to keep it, you have like a committee to help you.
Yes, almost.
You gotta have to have a committee, right?
Yeah.
To back up what you've been doing, and you'll be doing, we're in September now. Tell them exactly what you do in the fall and winter months, because we're coming up on that.
Yes, ma'am. So it's winter months. We're between 6 and 8 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks out from frost. According to the farm census, or the farmer's almanac, I should say, they're calling for early frost. So right now is about the perfect time to get into planting some leafy greens, broccoli, kale, some carrots, beets, radishes.
Probably getting your soil right.
Yes, ma'am.
You need to get your soil. So how would they get their soil?
The best thing I can say for viewers is, especially if you're in Georgia, get a soil test from the University of Georgia. You can get those from your extension agency. They're about $15. You'll take a few soil samples, put them in a little bitty brown sack, write your name on it, write some other information on it, staple it up, mail it through your extension office to the University of Georgia, and within about 2 weeks you'll get it back, and it's a plethora of information that I'm sure your extension agent can help you out understanding.
That's the number one the biggest thing that people have a problem with. Well, it just didn't grow. It didn't do this. It didn't do that. But that's critical that you get the soil tested, right?
Yes, ma'am. And a lot of leafy greens, because they're root vegetables and they don't require pollination either, they're a lot of nitrogen fixers, honestly. So by planting a winter crop, it honestly fixes your soil for the spring and then in turn the summer and fall.
That's what I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I plant daikon radishes, turnips, everything. And what I don't give to the food bank, it gets turned under and it becomes my fertilizer.
Yes, ma'am.
Organic, natural fertilizer. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I love it. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And how can they find you on your social media platforms?
Yes, ma'am. So I have an Instagram and a Facebook. It's grow_Georgia. I do lots of content in terms of planting tutorials, seedling tutorials. You'll see graphics for all my community events I'll be attending. I try to keep, a 2 to 3 week notice on graphics and stuff for announcements on when I'll be attending different events. I also do, hey, this is ready to harvest. We have a plethora of banana peppers or habaneros right now.
Right.
So I'll take some pictures. I'll post, come get it as you wish. I'll be out here these hours if you want to come pick or hang out or just help me work in the
Or
garden.
you might want to add a recipe component to your Go Grow Georgia. Adam, thank you so much for coming on the show to share your passion for agriculture. That's what we have to do. We got to continue to share that passion, and you're a great example for it, and I wish you the best in all your endeavors.
Thank you.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Welcome back to Field of Fork, and I have my Ingles celebrity chef, Scott Culpepper. It's been a while, Scott.
Been a while.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having
and
me back.
I know you're doing one of my favorites, and it's a root vegetable, and what are we doing?
So we're taking beets and roasting them and stuffing them, adding some goat cheese, and enjoying them. I love beets. I always loved beets as a kid. I love roasted beets. I love pickled beets.
Oh.
And I was trying to come up with a recipe, and I actually had a dream about it. And I'm like, why not put the stuffing in the beets? And I started looking around. I didn't really see too many people doing it. It's out there, but I tried it, and I loved it, and I've done it for friends, and it's very popular.
Yeah, and they're so good for you. There's so many health benefits from beets, and people don't know how to create dishes with beets and root vegetables, and I think it's great.
I think a lot of people are intimidated by them.
I do
But
too.
you do have to have patience with them because they require some investment of time. So what I did with these, I've already cleaned them. You can see I cut off the tops and the bottoms, and then I just sprinkle them with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, cover them with foil, roast them in the oven at 400 degrees for at least an hour, depends on the size of the beets. Once they're fork tender, take them out, let them cool before you can handle them. I use food handler's gloves because, beets will stain everything they
Right.
touch. So I just peel them, and then I take a little ice cream scoop, and I just put on the top, hollow out the inside of the beets, set that aside because I make my stuffing. I buy the box stuffing, which works perfectly for this. Instead of water, I use chicken stock, but I saute an onion, any type of sausage you want, spicy, mild, whatever.
I would
Saute
eat
the onion
spicy,
and the
you know me.
sausage. I do too, yeah. And then add the stuffing and everything's together. Chop up the inside of the beets, add it to the stuffing mix, and here you go. You can do, any.
You can make it your own, right?
Absolutely.
And didn't you say you had pumpernickel bread?
I have used pumpernickel bread before, but this is just the Laura Lynn brand box stuffing. So once that all comes together, I take my scoop again, and I'm just gonna fill these up.
And this makes a perfect side dish for Thanksgiving, fall.
Absolutely.
You could have it as a meal, and I'm sure they keep if you wanted to pre-do them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're like I said, a little time consuming. So if you wanted to prepare them a day or two ahead in advance, I would recommend
You know,
that.
you have a lot of people that are working and they prepare meals for the week. So this would be a good one to prepare in advance, I think.
Well, and the reason why I did a sausage stuffing is because I eat this as a meal. I don't want to have it as a side. You can, but it's just easy to grab, heat up, and have
Right.
a one plate meal. So after I put the stuffing in the beets, I've made a goat cheese topping. So I just take, 4-ounce roll of goat cheese, let it thaw out to room temperature, and I chop up chives and some rosemary, some
So you're
parsley.
infusing the flavors of this into the goat cheese.
Well, and then I adding little walnuts, and I put it in a piping bag, pipe it along a piece of saran wrap, and then roll it up so it gets like this. And then I
That's
have,
wonderful.
the stuffing here or not the stuffing, the cheese.
Right.
So I'll just use my trusty little spatula. You can see, and I'm just gonna cut them like,
Oh, these are going to be so delicious.
half an
Look at that.
inch.
Yeah.
portions.
I'll have to do that with the goat cheese.
And you know what? This is good too to have on salad, not
Right.
even on this.
But you know what, Scott? They have so many cheeses. You wouldn't have to do. You could do any kind of cheese,
Any
right?
kind of cheese.
Because in the Ingles Deli, their cheesecake is
their cheese-
so elaborate. I mean, unbelievably.
It is.
I mean, and they
And they
import
have
all
some
theirs.
that's already herbed and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to just buy that, whatever's easy. So
Push the easy button, right?
easy button. So I'm gonna go.
All right.
We already
So you-
have some going. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna pull those out.
And show the audience what they look like. Oh my goodness, that
So-
those are beautiful. What a beautiful presentation! Wow.
So
I
yeah.
never would. So this is really actually gorgeous.
Well, the goat cheese, you can see it'll brown up golden like color, but it doesn't. It won't melt off.
Right.
So
And it makes a better presentation if you've got that texture in the goat cheese.
and I love using the different colored beets because it's just so fun. It's the holidays.
It looks autumn. It looks fall.
So to top it off, honey.
Oh my god, honey's good.
So,
on
but
anything.
I made a spiced honey though. It's a cup of water, cup of sugar, a cup of honey, black peppercorns, chili flakes, and vanilla bean. So to finish that,
Wow.
you just drizzle.
So you're just got all those earthy and savory flavors all in one. That's so beautiful. I would not want to eat. I would eat this by itself.
well.
I don't know what I would pair it with because it's so wonderful
It's-
by itself. It looks like a
It
meal.
is. It's a lot of fun to have just by itself. It's a creative dish that you could easily wow your guests with. Because, like I said, when I was researching this, I didn't see a whole lot of them out there. But make it your own. You can do this completely vegan, which I've done before for my
Right.
friend Michael. But it's very easy to do, and it tastes great.
It's beautiful. And one last thing, for more recipes like this, Ingles Table Magazine, and there's lots of other recipes, so you can check out the videos, tricks, tips, and recipes at ingles-markets.com. We appreciate you coming on and
Thanks for
sharing this
having me.
beautiful dish. Wow, you wowed me.
All right.
All right.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, and we're going on a road trip to close the show, and thank you again, Scott.
Thanks.
Welcome back. We're at Farmacia. This is downtown Cornelia at the Big Red Apple, and I'm with Jason Vulo. And what are we doing, Jason? You're finally opening.
We're finally opening. This has been a year process for us. We've revamped this beautiful Arnold's building, and it's wonderful because Arnold's Pharmacy served the community for so long, and what we're trying to do is we want to serve the community, but in a different way. We let food be our medicine, and so what we're doing for the community here is we're bringing in a beautiful artisanal pizza program, a beautiful pasta program. What I'm working on right now is one of these pizzas. It's a traditional Neapolitan style. We're doing tomatoes from Italy, single origin flours that we get milled directly for us. And so let's get started.
You're
right
making
here.
me so hungry, and I know just from these ovens, they are beautiful. Just look at these ovens. Who would not want a pizza coming out of these beautiful ovens? And these are imported from Italy as well, right?
Exactly right. These get made. These have been made from mud from Naples. They get shipped to New York. The people in New York, they put the beautiful hand-laid tile on there. They did an amazing job with the artistry of that. They get shipped to us, and then we had to bring them in here. It was quite a feat of engineering, to say the least.
I bet. And, just knowing you and Community Brew and Tap and all the delicious food that he cranks out there, this is going to be phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see this pizza.
All right.
All right,
Let's go. We're starting with a light amount of our tomato base. Take some of this fresh basil. We'll just...
It wouldn't be right without basil.
That's it. You have to have the basil. A little bit of fresh basil on there. Now we're going to be putting on some of our buffalo milk mozzarella cheese. Now it's going to get some time in the oven.
About 2 minutes, 3?
2 minutes, 3 minutes. We're running it a little bit lower temperature today. We're in the 600 range instead of the normal 700, 800. But let's see how it goes.
We'll keep our eye on it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about the dough.
So this dough, again, being a single origin product, we do a sourdough ferment. So our sourdough, which we've been keeping our starter for over 5 years, this has been a beautiful starter that we use. We brought that over here, introduced it to our Italian flours, and so this dough actually takes about 3 days from start, bulk fermentation, scaling, and then the portion balls ferment another day too. And that's to give the best flavor that we possibly can.
That sounds delicious. And we better check on that pizza.
Yeah.
Wow, Jason, this looks fabulous. I love it. I love it. And it smells so delicious. So, you did a great job there. Let's go and see how you make your pastas.
Wonderful.
This is
Let's do
fresh
it.
pasta, so here we
Yes.
go. Okay, we're in the prep kitchen, and what a large kitchen, Jason. This is absolutely stunning.
Well, thank you so much. We're really excited to introduce some really cool features for the community. And one of them is our artisan pasta program. So right here in front of the window, we're making some beautiful handmade pasta. Right now, we're going to show you a little semolina dough that we're going to be making, and it's actually completely vegan. And it's beautiful. We're going to do a little bucatini for us right now.
I saw y'all making it online.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So right now what he's got going on is we're using some beautiful semolina flour that we're getting from Italy. It's single origin from a small producer, and it is being mixed with our water right now. There's a little bit of salt in there. And after this kneading process goes, we'll switch the machine to the extrusion, and we'll start producing some bucatini.
Okay, we're back, and we're back with some pasta. Jonathan, let's talk about it.
All right, so now we're going to take our bucatini that we just extruded through our bronze die, and we're going to do our play off of cacio pepe for you. So cacio pepe is a black pepper heavy dish. So we're going to toast our 5 peppercorn blend in our saute pan and some good Sicilian olive oil. And then we're going to do a pasta sauce just using the seasoned pasta water, some European butter, and finishing it with some grated pecorino romano and some 2-year aged Parmesan. And I'm going to throw that together for you right now.
Okay.
Even though it's a fresh pasta, it's still going to take about 2-3 minutes to come together.
Okay.
When we're cooking with the pasta, a lot of times, even though it will seem like it's a finished pasta, typically when it floats, it's done. But if it's not cooked enough, the sauce will not cling to the noodle itself, and you won't get as rich of a sauce as we like to see. So right now in our pan, we have our peppercorn blend, some olive oil, and then some of our seasoned pasta water. The pasta water is in Italy is like our mother sauce, if you will. So we're using a very good Sicilian sea salt. So the water is going to be perfumed with the flavor of the ocean, and it's going to season everything for us.
So we're here, and this is the finished product. Oh, tell us what we have.
All right, so we have our beautiful cacio e pepe made with our bucatini pasta. We have a simple margarita pizza, fresh basil, came right out of the oven, and this beauty that we didn't get to see us make, but let me tell you, our signature tiramisu, and it has a beautiful Gosling dark rum in there. There's Dutch processed cocoa powder, some beautiful cocoa nibs and dark chocolate. It's unlike anything you'll have ever tasted before. So please, let's dig in.
Let's dig in, and I want to thank you and Jonathan, Jason, for allowing me to come in and showcase this beautiful restaurant. I know you guys are going to do well. And tell the audience how they can find you and where you're located.
All right, so we're right here in the main part of Cornelia. Check us out on Facebook. We're Farmacia Trattoria, and we'll be launching our website this coming week. And our opening will be the last part of August, so the 29th. Be looking for open reservations.
All right, and I want to close the show and thank everybody that was on Field of Fork, Scott Culpepper, the Ingles Table chef, Adam Stone with Go Grow Georgia, and Jason and Jonathan Vulo. You guys are going to do great, and you guys go get outside. You know it is apple season. Go have some fun, and we'll see you next time.